So I've got my top 10 here, which means it's a power rankings list of championship game difference makers. Go ahead and hit it.
This is mine.
Power rankings.
There are many like it, but this one is mine.
Power rankings.
All right, here we go. Mike Del Tufo. These are the power rankings from championship game difference makers. Number 10 on the list. I'm going to start with the Washington Commanders, and I'm going to start with the first ballot Hall of Famer who's got 2,000 tackles in his career now. And, you know, I was talking about how you got a rookie quarterback who for the first time has vanquished number one ranked offense, and for the first time has vanquished in back-to-back playoff weeks number one ranked offenses and another one ranked in the top 5. So 2 top 5 ranked offenses, and helping him do it is Bobby Wagner.
Nice.
Bobby Wagner, man.
Like that.
Is there any doubt that 5 years after he says I'm done playing, he's going to have a bust in Canton? Correct? No doubt.
I think this past year really shown that he's still got a lot left.
Sealed it.
Yeah, about 2-3 years ago, there were people saying that this man was washed.
Yeah,
Like-
big time.
I was watching film breakdowns of people saying, look, he just doesn't have it anymore.
Yeah, Seattle's like, you can move on somewhere else. He goes to the Rams, and then the Commanders and Dan Quinn, who comes from the Pete Carroll school, says, I got you. Look at him. And so he can he help erase Saquon, or at least keep him from busting one 60, 70 yards?
I hope so.
No.
No. Yeah,
Because the thing is, man,
Probably
they
not.
haven't been able to stop him at all this year. So
Yeah,
We shall
just
see.
going to have to slow him down as best as they can.
Number 9 in terms of difference makers, I'm going with James Cook here. Personally, as a Michigan Wolverine, I know what he can do in big-time monster games. And for the Bills to win this game, they need to have James cooking. And they need to have him doing the James Cook things, which is get a crease and go. Or if they can somehow, some way keep the Chiefs off the field. That's the way you did things in the day when the Chiefs were a pinball machine on offense on tilt. But it still helps to keep Mahomes cold with that cape on and wondering what's going on and frustrated. James Cook can do that. Number 8 might be a little low in a quarterback-driven league, but I'm putting Jaylen Herz here. I'm putting Jaylen Herz here because he is not even, in my estimation, as you'll soon see, in the top 2 difference makers for the Philadelphia Eagles in this game. Because if Saquon can do his thing and Hertz just doesn't make the mistakes, you could see in some of these wins, and this is not discounting him, I also think he's not healthy.
Yeah.
So I think his biggest move, and you'll find out if he's healthy or not, if they don't do the tush push, then you know what's up. Mm-hmm. And a couple times in the snow, they didn't do the tush push, man. And that's why I kind of think it was crazy in the final throws of that game when they just needed to get one more first down. Instead of handing it to Saquon, they put it in the hands of Hertz, who was clearly defrayed. And he took a big, loss. I just think he can make a difference if he shows up like the Super Bowl Hertz. I just don't know if he will, but he can because he's a quarterback, and I've got to have a quarterback on the list. You'll hear the other 3 shortly. And I don't even think he's the biggest difference-making Jaylen on the team.
Oh.
Jaylen Carter's number 7 on this list. I understand Jaden Daniels can escape the pocket. I get it. But making sure that they're one-dimensional. Just let's take Brian Robinson out of the mix, Eckler out of the mix, take them all out of the mix, and make them one-dimensional. And we also saw in the final throws of that game in the snow against the Rams, and the Rams started finally putting first downs together and then a touchdown and then another drive together at the end of the game, and Matthew Stafford is pulling usual Matthew Stafford late game heroics. Jaylen Carter showed right up. The offensive line made mistakes. He took advantage, ended the game, essentially. You could take a look. I think, did Orlovsky, who was the one who maybe I saw show that I think, was it Higbee who was going to be wide open on that third down play that Carter blew up? And he could actually have walked right into the end zone, potentially in the snow. Carter blew it up. Wow. Number 6 on the list, if I'm putting Jaylen Carter in the middle of this power rankings list, and I'm putting a defensive tackle on a top 10, then I must put Chris Jones on it because he is the biggest. And he is also the brightest in recent years at this position to show up. Last year in the Super Bowl, overtime, Brock Purdy is on the cusp of scoring. Chris Jones blew it up. Forced a field goal. The rest, as we all know, is history. That's why we're talking three-peat now. So Chris Jones is number 6. If he can affect things as he usually does in the middle of this defensive line and also provide a pass rush, let Karlaftis go off, somehow, some way get in the grill of Josh Allen by, say, throwing Deion Dawkins into his path like Chris Jones did in the playoff win in Buffalo last year. Difference maker. Number 5, let's get to the top 5. Have to put Travis Kelce in the top 5. I don't want to hear it anymore about what he did in the regular season. It's the postseason. It's a different time. End of story. End of story. Who's going to mark him? What are the Bills going to do to make sure he doesn't pull his usual I'm wide open when you know I'm getting it open trick? Right? Difference maker. Travis Kelce, number 5. Number 4, the number 1 difference maker for the Philadelphia Eagles, Saquon Barkley. Listen, Giants fans, assume the position. Honestly, and I don't know if it's gonna mean anything or not on Sunday, but if you watch Saquon Barkley do to the Commanders what he did to the Rams and take the Eagles to the Super Bowl by whatever passing issues this team has, whatever passing problems this team has, he erases them. If he does that to the Commanders and takes the Eagles to the Super Bowl, and it's one of those games where, man, the Commanders had him right where they wanted him until Saquon took him off the griddle. Assume the position. Number 3 on this list, and this is, I think, testament to the ones who are numbers 1 and 2 on this list, and this may be the result of the fatigue. I'm putting Patrick Mahomes 3 because it's kind of crazy. We just discount it. Now we just take it for granted. We just take it for 100% granted that, you know, it's everyone else around him. Can he get the help? Because he's just going to be Patrick Mahomes. But he can also do the old Mahomes stuff and win this game. If there's any human being on the field that can make the other team go, here we go again, this weekend, he's the here we go again guy. There's no one. I mean, there's no one else. I mean, what the Commanders will go, oh, here we go again with Saquon, or the Eagles will go, here we go again with Jayden Daniels. There's no history between those. There's a Why Not Us team, and then there's a team of destiny, and then there's a team of history, and the one who's got the here we go again stuff is Mahomes. But I'm putting Josh Allen too. He's got to just be the Josh Allen that lets the game come to him, that just steamrolls people inside the 5, that extends the play, that doesn't miss. We need to see the Josh Allen of the team that has the fewest giveaways in the NFL this year. We've got to see the mistake-free Allen. We've got to see the fully under control Allen. We've got to see the Mandalorian quarterback Allen, where he can pull out any of his weapons and take care of business. And that's number 2. And then number 1 is the number 1 difference maker in the NFL this year. Jayden Daniels. Amazing that a rookie is atop the list of difference makers, but if he just keeps doing what he's been doing, he will send the Eagles home, and he will be the first rookie quarterback in history of the Super Bowl. And I didn't stutter. That's my power rankings list.
Do you think we need one more?
Yes, it's a rarity.
All right, we'll get one more.
I'll give you one more.
Wow.
Just for fun.
Blown away. One more.
Yep, I know. We don't want to do
That's
this.
just,
I know. Here we go. One more difference maker. Jim Murphy, the author of Inner Excellence. What's A.J. Brown reading? Because, you know, this is my way of saying A.J. Brown isn't can you believe I don't have A.J. Brown even in the top 3 difference makers of the Eagles? But he can be. What if he goes up top? What if they connect? What if he's whatever he read in Jim Murphy's passages? to get him focused and get him out there on the field.
He's got 3 catches for 24 yards.
I
in 2
got
games.
it. Find the inner excellence, or anybody else that's out there as a difference maker, to find their inner excellence and say, I'm going to do it. I did have Matt Milano on this list, but I'm like, if I'm going to put somebody in the middle of the defense, I got to put Bobby Wagner first. But that's my power rankings for championship game weekend in terms of difference makers. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.